Hello everyone and welcome to episode 9 of my Kerbal Space Program based on every planet in the solar system, conquering the everything and anything of whatnots and stuff and things. We are here in the tracking system and I believe we made an important decision. I think we need to either test a theory, and if the theory does not work, then I believe it may be time to accept the fate of Geosat 2, or Geosat, I keep calling it Geosat, but it's Geo Alpha 2, and terminate its signal. So what we're gonna try here, it's gonna be maybe very long-winded, but we'll see if it works. We are going to try monopropellant burn, if you will, with the satellite in and of itself. So we're going to see if we can re-extend that back out to 287, 286. Right, we're going to see if we can extend it out. Okay, here it's going to tell us that we have an NA for burn, essentially is what it's going to tell us. So we're going to take this to about here. Hour 58, we're going to warp to here. Now I want to see if I actually do H and burn this like that. It is actually extending. It actually is working. But we want that satellite to be on the other side, so we might need to come here, add a maneuver, and then speed it up. Well, we're gonna have to keep it going. Because it's not getting a good separation in between them. No, might have to go one more orbit. I think that's about it. I think that's where we want it. I think that's exactly where we want it, is right about here. So we need you to recover enough speed to put yourself back out to geosync orbit with just your monopropellant. Because you're on a perfect angle right here. So let's get you towards that maneuver node. Perfect. And we're going to delete that. And this is your marker here. Just gonna push through it a little bit. $8.55. Oh wow, went way too far that time. Okay. 71, 61, 53. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, and that says we got 35 minutes. We got to make up 62. So I think if we were to punch this down to, say, 5 minutes. We might be able to get that burn. Okay. This is actually doable. That's impressive. Okay. And we're going to start at 5 minutes. So 3, 2, 1, and go. We actually have enough monopropellant to do this. Look at that. We're actually going to push it out there. That's insane. I didn't think I'd actually be able to pull that off. Geosat with its broken engine only has RCS onto it, and even with the RCS, am I able to make an adjustment fine enough to bring this out 800,000 kilometers and still have RCS remaining? I'm impressed. I am really impressed. I was actually able to do it. So this is where we got to be careful. So here, there it is. I say we are at a decent enough point that that actually works. Look at that. We brought it out. We did it. Actually, it only took 2 minutes, so I should have burned it a little later, but that actually did it. So I can come here now, and with these dishes, I should be able to Geo Alpha 1 and that should be now Geo Alpha 3. Okay, and then come to Geo Alpha 3 and switch to. Look at that. Look at that. And here I thought we were going to have to launch a new satellite. Okay. Let's Geo Alpha 1. And we'll point you to Geo Alpha 2. So you still have connection to here because you have all those other little antennas on you to keep you going, right? So, and then all we gotta do is come here, go switch to you, and in theory these should be good enough and should be in decent enough orbits that they should stay connected at all times. There it is. And I already point you back to Geosat 2. So, in hindsight, boom. There it is. There it is. Oh, and they got beautiful angles. They got plenty of distance between them on that triangular orbit. Like, look at that. They got plenty of space. We got 3 deep space antennas on them, and I think we should easily be able to get something off and over to the Mun here. Wow. I don't know, that went a lot better than I thought. I didn't think that the RCS would be sufficient enough to get me there. And I mean, I'm still with if we take a quick look, I think I'm still with like half my tank of RCS, if not more. Oh, megajoules. We have no electrical charge because of our angle. Oh, we do have electrical charge. There it is. I was wondering why my lights weren't on. Look at that. Probably should have put a bigger battery on these. I don't think they last on the dark side. But in theory, he shouldn't be out of the sun for too long. Let's give this orbit a once around. So where are we here? In reference to Kerbal. And go to power. Go to power for a bit. Yeah, it looks like it didn't put enough battery into them to make them last the whole way around. So I think, boom. Wow, that charges fast. Oh, well, that probably would help. Deactivate that. And yeah, so I mean, if you're not active, plenty of these little antennas on here, but I mean, what's the next one coming up into the dark side? Let's just try and okay, we're gonna switch this satellite. And I think it's because I have the big dish open, and I think that's drawing all the power because that thing sucks a lot of power. Yeah, because that's active on those things when that's open, right? I think that draws a significant amount of power. Geosat 2, that's Geosat 1. Switch 2, let's close that big dish. Probably make a difference, especially on the power drain. Now all these dishes are designed the exact same. They're all based off of the same save template. So we're going to deactivate that massive dish. It's not pointing anywhere. That's good. And where are we, dark side? I think we're about to come here. And we're going to speed this up till you enter the dark side with your lights on and your relay dish is going, and we want to just make sure that you have enough power to last that dark side. Okay. Okay, and we're gonna go dark here in just a few seconds. And test this out. Still maintaining a good triangle, and boom, we're dark. Wow, what drew all that power? Obviously, that's not enough. That only draws 0.6 a second. Like, that's a lot of power drawn and gone just from that orbit around. The lights here draw. I mean, I like the lights and all, but obviously I did not design these satellites with enough power. My U button's not working for this either, so. So I can't even turn the lights back on now. And U. No. It's almost as if I don't have control of it, which is kind of odd. Oh, that's why. I was still in time warp. Da. You. Hey, and it's lit up. Okay, so I guess if I'm going to do the Geosat satellites, I need to kind of refresh the design a little bit for battery consumption, if you will. So I think we're good. We're going to go back to Space Center here. We were able to get the 3 satellites up, but we have to come up with a little better battery solution, I think. We're just going to load the design up real quick, and we're going to take a quick look at what happens if we throw something in there. Now, I believe these were built before a few additional mods were added into the game, which makes a little bit of sense. So I know that we added the near future mod set in here. So with that being said, we should have some nice larger capacity batteries here at our disposal. It just depends on what their sizing's at, if you will. So let's load up that design. Let's just see if there's a way that we could have, now that we know in hindsight, our geosats are basically going to go dead when they make it around on the dark side. So that's a bit of a problem. We might have to replace them all, unfortunately, now come off camera. So if we come to power, we should have some nice big, like, look at that. That's 2800 electrical charge, that's 6400. And that's like the right form factor, if you will, for what we're trying to do here too. So if we had to drop that and put this in, right, and then put that on. Let's just get in there just a little closer because I think I have things attached to this. Yeah. And I don't think. So if we come down here, we'll put that over there. Like, there's probably some better options. Probably if I downsize that. Yeah, it's only 1,500. That's not nearly. If we up that, see that there, that's 22,000. That's actually probably the would have been the better battery size right there. 22,000 electrical charge on that. Yeah, that would have been too big. But yeah, 22,000 there. That's almost 10 times the amount of power we would currently have. And that would have done the trick easily, in my opinion, most likely. I just would need to come here and grab the lights and probably pin them here. There we go. And pin the lights on there. But that would have done better. Then we would have just need to have rebuilt our fairing here, because as you can see, if we come out, our fairing is now there. So it would have just made it a little longer, but that would have been a much better design. So we'll save that for next time. But yeah, I mean, that battery pack probably would need 2, I think, with the amount of power they draw. I mean, if we just pulled that. And yeah, we don't offset our thrust to weight ratio by that much, I think, so. Okay, close the top on it. There it is. And we still have decent thrust to weight ratio. So that probably would have been better. I mean, now look at it. We got 44,000, 45,000 electrical charge on here. And that probably now would suffice. Should have known that I have too much draw on here to make that satellite actually last. So I think it may be a possibility that we'll have to go off camera and relaunch these. Because we just don't have enough battery power. Too bad we didn't have like a generator, eh? What if we replaced it with some sort of power production unit instead? Well, we got the solar panels to produce power, but we need something that's going to produce power when there is no sun. It would be nice. I mean, to put like a little micro nuclear reactor or something on there. Something that would produce. But I would need to. Like this. This would produce 36 electrical charge a second. And its estimated core life is 6 years. It doesn't require anything. Right? And it would just produce electrical charge. And it needs, 0.7. So I mean, if we were to just pop that on there, for example. Yeah, but you can't size it, see? That's kind of the problem with it. That would produce that, and it would need enriched uranium of 35. Produce 200 electrical current, but I mean, I don't think we have that much. We have more than that needed, right? It needs 0.1, and it comes with like 75. That would put it at 1,000, but that's too big, right? It would be nice, but I don't think. I think these two batteries on here will probably end up doing the trick with that amount of power, right? We got, what, 22.4, so we're looking at 44.8 here in total. Probably be more than enough to supply the power you need to keep this thing off the ground, or keep it running in the dark. And put that one there. Actually, probably could lower it a little. There. Yeah, that would probably do the trick there. So definitely give it the amount of power it needs to sustain it during the dark side, because right now all of our geosats go dead in the dark. Okay, that design is saved. I'll probably relaunch them on another night and replace them all off camera, and then we'll work from there. I think that's probably the best bet, because right now, as you can see, it's just not going to make it. Not going to make the dark side of the moon, or dark side of the Kerbin, which especially is important because we need them. We need these satellites to be able to last, because as we put them further and further out from Kerbin, they're going to get less and less sunlight. They're going to produce less and less power. So we need to make sure that while they're out of the sun, they have enough battery power to keep going. And I think with some of these satellites, we might minimize the amount of antennas onto them so that they're not going to burn through the power so quickly. But with that being said, I think that's it for us here on episode 9 of the Kerbal Space Program series. I hope you enjoyed. I thank you all very much for watching, and we'll have to catch you next time. So thank you all for watching. Take care and fly safe. Bye-bye.